Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full See My Head. I'm your host, Zoe, with my other guy over there on the other side, Mr. Angel Cantu.
How they doing? How's it going?
Well, as of right now, when we're recording, the Astros are going into extra innings with Yainer Diaz hitting that clutch single up the middle to bring in Kyle Tucker. So it's 1-1 extra innings right now. But other than that, I mean, the Astros have been doing great this homestand so far. Picking both them games against Josiah Gray and Patrick Corbin. I mean, it was a pitching duel with Mackenzie Gore and Christian Javier. But other than that, I mean, they already secured the series. They're just looking to add on to the sweep. So we'll keep you updated if they score and win. And if they don't, then we'll continue to update you as well. But Angel, give me that one word, describe the series so far, how the Astros are doing against the Nationals.
I would say ameliorate, which means making something bad better. Like the road series, that road stand they had was not so pretty, and now they're at home and they played well. They played good. Um, it was against the Nationals, but hey, they're still a baseball team. They still have professionals out there who are ready to compete, and they've made it close. Like just like you said, they're going to extras today or yesterday, and it was a close game on Wednesday as well. So they put on a good show. But the Astros did play better. They're hitting. Even Martin Maldonado, Jose Abreu, they stepped up huge this season. This series, the pitching was great. You said it was like a couple pitchers duel, and you know they need to win. Hopefully for Dusty. It's his birthday,
Her
so
birthday.
her birthday. I know they're in extras right now, but hopefully they win.
Happy 21st birthday to Dusty. I mean, doesn't look any day older than 21. But like you were saying, dude, I mean, pitching has been doing great. Maldonado, I mean, big milestones. I don't know. I believe it was this series. Altuve with 1,000 runs. Jose Abreu with 1,500 hits, and
Maldi.
Maldonado with 100 home runs. So that is a great achievement for those guys. But as of right now, the record's 39-29. Like I said, we'll continue to update you if the Astros win or lose. As of right now, they're 3 games back with the Texas Rangers being first. They just lost against the Angels. And real quick, I'll just give you an update with the standings before we start our shout outs. Texas Rangers are right now 42-25. The Astros are 39-29, which they're still playing. We can see a change coming up soon. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 38-32, and the Seattle Mariners 33-34. So this division right now, it's pretty all packed together. Seeing who's going to take that number one spot. Of course, you got to think about the AL East teams over there too, with the Rays, the Orioles, the Yankees. This year right now for the Astros is going to be tough for them to get into the postseason either through getting through the AL West division or going as a wild card spot. So as of right now, this is way before October. We're in the month of June. We haven't even got to the All-Star break yet, but we just want to make sure to let y'all know about the standings, what it is, and what's going on so far. But real
Yeah,
quick, let's go out with our shout outs. Oh, you want to add something
yeah.
real quick?
Before we move on, and like we kind of told y'all this before the season even started, it's gonna be a tough division this year. Like
Hmm.
teams got good. We said the Rangers were going to be good. We said the
Yep.
Mariners were going to be good, and we didn't even count out the Angels either. And it's starting to show now. Um, I think we did give a little bit more credit to the Mariners before the season started, and then a lot less to the Rangers. But like the Rangers came to play this year, and that's and that's kind of like what's been going on. It kind of gave me AO East vibes, like how that division is stacked, and our division is pretty stacked too now. So it's gonna be a tough battle.
Yeah, a lot of divisions are stacked. I mean the NL East, the NL Central right now, which we'll be talking about the Reds soon. They're just 1 game back
Oh wow.
from getting first, and then of course the NL West is just a pack of teams, especially them baby D backs out there in Arizona. But let's go with our shout outs real quick from this Washington series. My first shout out is going to be Jose Abreu. This guy is hot right now, and that is a great sign for Astros fans because with Jordan shut down for a good while, we'll talk about the updates in a minute. He's going to have to step up big time. And right now, he's looking like 2020 American League MVP Jose Abreu. Right now, he's 5 for 10 this series with 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Doesn't look like he missed a beat. He's continuing to look good. I mean, his last 7 games, he's hitting over 350. Batting, on base percentage, slugging percentage, everything is up. The slash line looks great. So that's my shout out right there. Angel, you got anything else to add with your shout out?
Yeah, just wait till that Cuban connection starts, you know, putting stuff out there with Jordan and Abreu. That's gonna be fun to watch. But give me Hunter Brown. Hunter
Yeah.
Brown had a good bounce back, phenomenal outing. And what does to say that bullpen a little bit? 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. That was a quality start in the book, and he kept the Nats hitters off balance the entire time. Like he looked great out there, and the command was a little bit better. I think that's what focusing on all season with Hunter Brown. Like every time he has been struggling, it's because of that. It's because of command issues, and yeah, 30 walks, but 4 hits. That's pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, no one runs as well. And that's our title of our show this episode 102. It's quality starts. I mean, Hunter Brown set the tone, getting that quality start. Framber Valdez follows, and then Christian Javier follows. Even though Framber didn't get the win, it's not looking like Javier's going to get the win either. But quality starts in the books for our starting pitchers, and that's a great sign for Astros fans out there.
Yeah, that Valdez, like he should have gotten that win. I was like
Yeah, 4-1.
that was
4-1
terrible.
score in the ninth inning. Presley hasn't been sharp lately, and that's kind of
So okay,
not good.
I know we're going on a tangent here, but do you think Abreu or somebody else needs to get save opportunities? Because
There's a great opportunity that we're going to be seeing somebody step up into that closing role. I'm not panicking on Presley yet because it's too early in the season. We're getting to the middle part of the season, but it's a concern that we got to like as Astros pitching
that we're
staff
having
has
this
to look at.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah, and you had to have it because I mean his last 5 starts. I was looking at it before we start, which I still have it right here. The last 5 starts, he's at least allowed an earned run. June 3rd, I mean it's a good while back. June 3rd, he allowed a run against the Angels. June 9 against the Guardians, which the Astros should have won that game, but allowed that run to score. He allowed that, like I said, an earned run, and then yes, Tuesday's ball game against no Wednesday's ball game. Sorry about that. He allowed that earned run as well. So there's a great possibility. I wouldn't be shocked to see somebody at the end of the season kind of get into that closing role. But like I said, it just needs to. I mean, I'd rather have it get it now than later on when the season's already getting to the postseason.
yeah,
And then, like I said, two more. Kyle Tucker, 6'4", with a home run, RBI, and a walk. And then my last one got to go to Jake Myers' helmet. That helmet helped the Astros win that extra innings ball game, and everybody has always talked about his helmets being too big. As soon as he swings and misses, the helmet comes off, or if he's even running, that helmet comes off. But shout out to that helmet of Jake Myers out there because that's what allowed his head to be, in stable condition. Nothing, thank God, nothing had happened to him. But get that win, of course. So that's our shout outs. Quick update. Nationals just scored because of that ghost runner on second. It is a score of two
I
to
hate that
one.
rule.
Nationals. I know, me too. I don't like the ghost runner, but it's Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that rule. But moving on to Astros injury updates. As most of you may all know, update on Lance McCullers Jr. He is out for the season, and we don't know exactly when he'll be back in 2024. But here's just what Astros had to say. Lance McCullers underwent surgery on Tuesday to repair the flexor tendon in his right forearm and remove a bone spur. McCullers will be out for the remainder of the year, but is expected to return at some point during the 2024 season. Now, beat writers asked Dana Brown about the situation, about the situation, if there is any like contingency plan to get somebody at the trade deadline. And Dana Brown's more like right now that's not the concern or the area of focus. And he cited that um, early in the season they said they're going to give the young guys an opportunity to prove themselves and get those innings in. And he also brought in a good point that even though Lance McCullers hasn't pitched all season, even though Luis Garcia has been out for quite some time, and so has Akiti, the Astros still rank number one, and like their pitching still
Yeah.
pretty good. So that was his point of focus of saying like right now, they're not panicking on trying to make a trade out, for a pitcher, and because of that, and he also mentioned something that was really valid. He was like, it's kind of hard to get a trade going because there's a lot of buyers out there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of teams that are, especially with that third edition wild card spot. Like there's a lot of teams that are in the hunt, a lot of teams that are trying to find pitchers, and there's not a lot of sellers. Like I would say the Tigers are a seller, the Royals maybe, you know, A's teams. But other than that, there's a lot of buyers out there. So they're like right now it's not concerned, but we'll I know we
Yeah.
kind of asked this question, and we'll get a little bit more of y'all's point of view from the cap or no cap, but that's just what Dan and Brown had to say. And then they also had an update on Jordan Alvarez. This per China Rome. Alvarez has been diagnosed with the right oblique strain and is expected to be signed on for 4+ weeks. Yeah, um, it's another thing. So it's an oblique injury, and those are tricky. Like it's just basically rest and trying to get into the groove of things, but another thing, Dana Brown did say they are exploring the option to get a lefty, like a lefty hitter. So
Mhm.
they are exploring that option. Um, I mean, we'll see how that goes. And like I know we did mention Bellinger um, last podcast, but again, who knows what they'll do? But they are looking for options as well. So my question to you, Zoe, is: will Jordan be able to attend the All Star game? What do you think?
It's too hard to say, but I'm gonna say no. It's sad too because last year he was an all-star and he didn't even get to attend because he was dealing with, I believe it was a thumb or the hand injury. And now this year with the oblique strain, they said 4+ weeks. I wouldn't even risk it.
Yeah.
I'd just let him stay home and relax and continue just to, rest, ice, all that compression elevate. If you didn't know that, but yeah, I don't see him attending the All Star game. I think it'd be too risky too if he's even ready for that time because that second half of the season is going to be really crucial, especially with the teams that's going on, like you were saying, with the third wild card spot. The American League right now looks pretty stacked. There's going to be a lot of buyers, so I don't expect him to be up there in Seattle.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's just an exhibition game. Like
Yeah,
there is no World Series meaning anymore where the winner gets home field advantage at the World Series, which I honestly thought was pretty cool because it made the game, have some meaning instead of just like, going out there. But again, there, I think Jordan's priority should be the Houston Astros, and I think it is, and I think the Astros will have a say in that as well. Update on Michael Brantley. Brantley is hitting in the cages and throwing pain free and will ramp up his baseball activities this homestand. His progress over the next 2 weeks will clear up the timeline for his return. And I was actually there on the field, and I did see him on that Tuesday. He was out there on the field. I didn't really pay attention to what he was doing, but he was out there, taking some drills. And then update on Jose Urquidy. Urquidy's still throwing on flat ground, but will likely pitch off the mound this homestand. Once he begins throwing off the mound, the Astros will have clear timeline for his return. So I did ask him, and he said he is feeling a lot better, and he said like you said, like he's going to start throwing. So we'll see when he starts coming back. And some interesting tidbits by Brian McTaggart. So shout out to him. Uh, Game started by Valdez or Javier, the Astros are 17-9, and game started by any other pitcher is 21-20. So, I mean, that's kind of pretty obvious because those are our aces, or the Astros aces, and we're, and the Astros have rookies firing on some other days. So, I mean, but for the most part, again, like Dana Brown did say, they are number one in pitching. So that it's things are still looking pretty good for them.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes down because the trade deadline is gonna be in July, the end of July, and like you had said before, and we've said it already that there's gonna be a lot of teams buying. Rangers, for instance, Angels, for instance.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
Angels.
the Yankees as well. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams trying to find a way to get their club better to be able to reach that goal of going to the postseason and the inevitable goal of getting to the World Series and winning it. And the Astros right now, like you were saying, 17-9, Valdez and Javier, and other starting pitchers is 21-20. Shout out to them guys though, Brandon Belak and JP France. I think Hunter Brown had set himself to be in that rotation if we get into the postseason, but they're gonna have to go get somebody. They're gonna have to because I'm not gonna be comfortable with a Brandon Belak going on the mound in a game 2 or game 3 start. You know, if we rank the highest, and the Astros are gonna have to go to let's say Seattle, like how it was last year, and face that crowd. I mean, I think it's going to be brutal. Some pitchers are built for it, some pitchers aren't, and I'm not too sure if those guys are. But I'd rather be safe at least to get one starting pitcher. I'd say.
You see, but I don't think B Lag would be the game three. For example, this is like, hypothetically speaking,
Yeah,
once the Astros get to the World Series, like they should have Urquidy back if he stays healthy.
if he stays
Yeah,
healthy, that's the big key word right there because
exactly.
shoulder inflammation could just come and go too. You got
No,
to think
you're right.
about that.
You're
So
right. But like in a perfect world, it would be Framberg game one, then it would be Javier game two, or Urquidy game three, and then depending if they go with that 4-star, it'll be Hunter Brown, and then you got France and be like coming out the bullpen. So I mean, like, and I kind of see like that. That's what the Astros,
mhm,
I feel like, are picturing in their minds, and that's why they're not rushing first starting pitcher, because they were
yeah.
like making it to the playoffs. Like they're still pretty good. Like what they're thinking is like we still got a chance. So I think that's what their mindset is.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens when it gets closer to July after the All Star game. That's probably going to be a clearer picture for everybody to see. Astros update: they are losing now 4-1. Phil Maton was struggling with command. Keeper Ruiz got a single, and then Maton had walked Corey Dickerson. I guess it was bases loaded at the time. So 4-1 Nationals with 2 outs, and Matt Gage is up on the plate, not the plate, the bump. Sorry about that. But let's talk about our preview against the Cincinnati Reds coming into H-Town, 34-35. Like I said, they're third in the NL Central. Um, they're not too far back in the second spot of that division in the Central with the Pirates and the Brewers. We had said one game back from first place, so that Central's up for grabs. But Cincinnati too, bringing a lot of excitement with these young prospects. Elly De La Cruz being one. A pitcher we're going to be talking about, Andrew Abbott's another, Matt McClain. There's a lot of young stars in the makings over there in Cincinnati, and that's a lot of hope for Cincinnati Reds fans in Ohio. 8-10 their last 10 games, and it's the weekend, so Astros are going to have the Friday night fireworks. Saturday is Jeremy Pena hard hands bobblehead, and Sunday is Father's Day. I believe they're giving out a beach tote, but they do have a Father's Day add-on that is a charger that looks pretty cool if you
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
it does.
So, I mean, fathers out there, let your wives know, let your girls know out there, go get it. Anyway, Friday, get the matchup going. 7-10, JP France 2-1 with a 3.54 ERA versus Andrew Abbott. Like I was saying, he is 2-0 with a 0 ERA. And France in his last outing against Cleveland, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. We had said he had throw a career high in pitches with 105. This time I'm going to be looking for control and command against the Cincinnati Reds. Like I was saying, the stats, 6 walks, that's kind of unacceptable. And he got the W out of that game right there. And the Astros offense was hot during that game. So I'm looking for him to control his command. That's all I really got to say about France. And he'll be going against Andrew Abbott on the other side. Last outing at St. Louis, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. His first outing versus Milwaukee, 6 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. He has a decent walk rate from them 2 outings, 4 walks, 3 walks. You never know. But let's see that 4 pitch arsenal from him. Four seam fastball is going to be 54.8% of the time, averages 92 to 93 miles per hour. Curveball, 21% with a 28 spin rate. That's pretty damn good. We're getting the RPMs right there. You got the changeup, 16.2%, averages 85 to 87. And then he has a sweeper of 8.1%, averaging about 81 to 83 miles per hour. So, Angel, what's going to be the keys for the Astros lineup to attacking Abbott and possibly handing his first loss as a rookie this season?
I would say jump on that fastball. He throws it a lot, like you said. Out of all his pitches in his past and his only 2 starts, he's thrown 115 fastballs.
Wow.
And the next closest pitch is a curveball, and he's only thrown it 44 times. So jump on that fastball. He likes throwing it high and inside, and then kind of low in the strike zone. He's trying to throw hitters off. So say jump on that fastball. I mean, he doesn't throw it that fast. I think his average is about 92 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So it's not like Hunter Green that you're gonna talk about next, who throws it 100. Like, so I
Good,
think it,
yeah.
yeah. So if you, I feel like if the Astros jump on that fastball and just be patient on the off speed, things will go to plan. But that is, again, it's easier said than done. That is the Reds' top prospect. I think he's ranked number 10 for them. So, you
Mhm.
know, he's looked good so far. So that's my game plan.
Yeah, 2-0, 0 ERA. Against a good team like St. Louis and Milwaukee too. I mean, that's pretty good. But he's going to be facing a different beast with the Astros having a good lineup without Jordan Alvarez still. But anyway, Saturday, 3:10 start time. You got Brandon Belak on the mound. 6.5, 236 ERA versus Hunter Green with a 1.4, 4.01 ERA. I don't think Brandon Belak is 236. I have to double check that. But his last outing against Cleveland, it was a very rough. Of course, he didn't have the starters and the hitters that he wanted in the lineup. I believe it was only Kyle Tucker and maybe Jose Abreu. That's when all the subs came in because of that early start time in Cleveland. Roughed up in his last two starts in June, has given up 19 hits and 8 earned runs. And I was seeing in May he had 6 starts, well, 5 starts, but with that one relief when Luis Garcia had gotten hurt, he allowed 34 hits and 11 earned runs in 6 starts. Well, 6 appearances, we'll say. And now these 2 starts in June, giving up 19 hits and 8 earned runs. That's a big, big difference maker right there. It's not a good start for him, but seeing hopefully that he does good against a team like the Cincinnati Reds, who they're not bad, but at the same time too, it's a good team to take advantage of. And then you got Hunter Green on the other hand, like you were saying, throws triple digits. Um, Good pitcher for them. Last outing at St. Louis, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. He has been dealing his last three appearances on the bump. Like I said, it's been tremendous for him. And if you combine them 3 starts, 17 1/3, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 7 walks, 28 strikeouts. One of those starts, he had a no hitter going against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley. So they got to adjust. That's why I'm going to say right here, adjust the second go around. The second time around the lineup, you have to adjust. Of course, that first time around, it's brand new. You never see Hunter Green. After that first time around the lineup, second time, you got to adjust. First time through the lineup, has a 2.30 ERA, 25 hits, 7 earned runs, 10 walks. Second time through the lineup, 6.12 ERA, giving up 26 hits, 17 earned runs, 10 walks. And the third time through the lineup, he has a 3.60 ERA, 12 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 walks. So that's why I say adjust the second time around. He just said it right there, 6.12 ERA, 17 earned runs. Got to attack that second time around against Hunter Green, especially a good pitcher that he's been pitching these last 3 appearances. So Astros are going to have to do that. And then Sunday, last game against the Reds, 110. You got Hunter Brown on the mound, and he will be going against Luke Weaver, who's 1-2 with a 6.23 ERA. Hunter Brown's last outing, we had talked about it. Well, Angel, you have talked about it. I mean, he was lights out, quality start, 7 innings, strong, 4 hits, no earned runs. Luke Weaver, he's been a veteran. He's been pitching since 2016. Last outing at KC, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. In the month of June, which he only has 2 starts under his belt, he has yet to go a full 5 innings. The start against the Dodgers at Cincinnati, he went 3 2/3, throwing 86 pitches. And then his last start against the Kansas City Royals, 4 2/3, 93 pitches. Another thing is with him, he struggled on the road. He's not a guy that likes to be on the road. He'd rather be at home at Cincinnati with that lake in the background. 5.19 ERA, 32 hits, 15 earned runs, 4 home runs, 9 walks. He gives up an opponent batting average of 308. And I think the Astros lineup is just going to love this number away from not Citizens Bank Park, Great American Ball Field over there, or Great American Ballpark. Sorry about that. He against left-handed hitters, 326 batting average, 651 slugging percentage. And with the right-handed hitters, he has a 295 batting average with a 410 slugging percentage. So, Angel, what do you think about Hunter Brown? You think he's going to continue on adjusting and being able to continue on what he did against the Washington Nationals?
I believe so. as long as he can command his pitches again, that's been the real big topic for him um, throughout this season, and I think he can pick it up and continue making a case for American League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, he's been pretty pitching pretty well. He did have that good month of April pitching. He didn't win rookie of the month that month. I remember it was Josh Jung, which Josh Jung has been doing a great job this year for the Texas Rangers. Final update on yesterday's score, Wednesday's score. The Astros lose 4-1 against the Nationals. They are 3 games back in the AL West. So that's my update, and that's the preview for the Cincinnati Reds.
Now it's time for our pitching offensive MVPs and our hot takes. So last homestand, I had Valdez as my pitching MVP, which turned out really good. Corey Jokes was my offensive. I think he only played twice this series and didn't really do so hot. And then the offense will out hit the Nationals. I didn't look at the number, I should have, but I think they did. So we'll count it.
Yeah, I think they are because I'm looking right now. Nationals had 11 hits yesterday. Astros had 7, but I mean the Astros out hit them the first game and the second game, so you should be good.
There we go. All right, so let's count it. So this week I have to roll with the hottest Cuban on the block, Jose Abreu. Is gonna be my offensive MVP. Jumping on on that wagon real quick, and then my pitching MVP is gonna be Hunter Brown. Again, how we just stated, I think he has a great chance to replicating what he did this last homestand, and he's gonna do it for his pops out there on Father's Day. So
Yeah,
I like it. And then my hot take is the Astros will hit a home run every game this this homestand or this series. It's been pretty hard again. Um, Reds are turning things around and they have pretty good pitching. So, but I didn't think they could do it.
yeah. I mean, they're fine for the NL Central now. 1 game back, like we were talking about. They're going to be firing in all cylinders. But with me, I had Jose Abreu and I had Hunter Brown, which you basically will take for this coming series, and they did not let me down. And my hot take was Astros will take the series against the Nats, which they did. I said possibly sweep. They didn't. They had a chance, but
So half point. Just kidding.
nah, I said possibly sweet. So I think I'm good there, but I'm 3 for 3 on that one. It felt good coming back with 3 for 3. But it's a new weekend series. It's a new series. Friday Night Fireworks, beers on ice, food being good and delicious out there. Nachos, supreme nachos, whatever you get at the ballpark. Anyway, here I go. Offensive MVP. I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker. I mean, he did pretty good this past series against the Nats. I'm looking for him to continue on to have a hot stretch. Last 7 games, he hasn't been hitting too well. I think he's hitting maybe under 250 or just around 250. So I'm looking for that to continue staying hot in this Cincinnati series. Pitching MVP, I got to give it to JP France. Like you're saying, Father's Day is Sunday, but Father's Day weekend. I think this is his first or second Father's Day because of because of his son Liam. The stashes are going to be all out in Minute Maid Park. You know me, I'm a stan with JP France. I like that guy. Being able to interview him was pretty cool. And then my hot take: Reds will only score a total of 6 earned runs against Astros starting pitchers. And
So
remind you, huh?
two a game.
It could be 2 a game. It could be, just as long as it's a total of 6 earned runs. I think it'd be good. And reminding you who's pitching, it's not the Christian Javier's, it's not the Framber Valdez's. It is the Brandon Belaks, the JP Francis, and the Hunter Brown. So I think the Astros have a great chance of doing it. I think they have a good chance of taking the series against the Cincinnati Reds.
I like it. I like it. So guess what time is it?
What is it?
Around the league time. So
Let's do it.
starting off with what's firing hot in Houston. Washington's manager Dave Martinez disagrees with an obstruction call. Like, first, I want to say that Dave Martinez is one of the great managers. He's a really stand-up guy. He's like, I feel like he's like that quiet teacher mentor, but when he's really passionate about something, he just starts, uh, firing up. And I do agree with him that there needs to be some consistency on that play, but I think this was more of a young Nationals team because on that play, like you're always taught either inside or outside, right? Like
Hmm.
when you never throw it on the line because of what we saw, right? Where Myers gets hit, and what I'm thinking from Reese's point of view is he saw Myers on the grass, right? So
Hmm.
instead of and they're already thinking outside, right? And he's not on the
Yeah.
grass. So what he tried to do is change it to like, all right, he's on the grass. I'm gonna throw it at the bag, and so you can get the out. But at that point, I felt like if you would have just thrown it outside and it hits Myers outside, then that's obstruction because he's outside the baseline. So, right?
Yeah.
So that, that's just again like the Washington Nationals being a young team. There's gonna be a lot of growing pains, and because where Myers ended up on the base pass and that ball hit, he's down the line. So
Hmm.
I can't confidently say that's an obstruction call because again they're both right down the line. But if Myers would have been on the grass or on the foul territory and the ball hits him, then I would just say yeah, that's obstruction. What are your thoughts?
Well, Myers was on the outside of the line. If you look at it, he was almost on the freaking grass,
Yeah,
but he gets back in the line, and I think either mid or inside the line. And I think if Kibber Ruiz throws a good throw because he threw it literally right by his head,
on
and
the base.
Chavis didn't. Yeah, and Chavis didn't even have a good chance of catching it. And I just think of David Martinez from the 2019 World Series when Trey Turner got called out for that obstruction call when he was running a first. And I think that's what brought back Martinez's mind. He's like, hey, you caught our guy out about what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And now it's the same scenario right here with the Astros this time being the runners, and you don't call an out and
It's
you
crazy
call
how
him
the
sick.
baseball. It's crazy how the baseball gods work.
Yeah, exactly. So Um, I do agree though with him. There has to be some type of consistency. Maybe like you were saying, it's because they're a young ball club, but at the same time too, that doesn't matter. I mean, you gotta stick to the rules. I believe really strong about with stuff like that.
Yeah, honestly, like if I'm raised like in that situation, I'm throwing it where he's running. So if it hits him and he's on the grass, we get the out, right? But
Yeah.
if he moves out the way, your first baseman's there to make the catch. So it's just like like if it hits him on the back, that's on him. He should have been running on the grass, but it's just again just growing pains as a young team. Um, Now this is coming news from Oakland. The Ace fans do a reverse boycott. So the reason why the A's want to move and what management is blaming it is that no one's showing up, right? But I agree with the fans in here. Like they're not showing up because the ball club's not setting themselves up to win. Like they traded Sean Murphy, they traded Olsen, they traded Chapman, they traded all of
Traded a
these,
lot of good guys, dude.
all of these.
Simeon, Hendricks.
Yeah,
They had a lot of talent over there in
yeah,
Oakland.
and I'm sure they had the potential to do something, right? But then they were
Hmm.
like, no, we don't want to be here anymore. We want a new stadium. We want to go to Las Vegas. So what the fans did is more than 27,000 fans showed up to the up to show Major League Baseball that the fans are not the problem, right? And it's the
Hmm.
management is the issue. And while that's going on, Nevada's governor signed the $380 million bill to help bring Oakland to the Oakland A's to Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
things aren't getting really settled in. But but I'm with the Oakland fans here. It
Yeah.
kind of sucks because there's so much history there. Ricky Henderson, there's 3 World Series titles. Like there's a lot of history there.
History. Hmm.
Yeah, and just to give it the boot like that to move to Las Vegas, that's kind of heart wrenching.
Yeah, Dave Stewart, Reggie Jackson, Dennis Eckersley, Raleigh
Catfish.
Fingers, Catfish Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the Moneyball, they made a movie about them on Moneyball. So, I mean, like you're saying, they have a lot of history over there. Maybe because they're tired of getting possums in the visitors broadcast booth. Maybe that could be a potential why they're moving away from Oakland. But I agree with you, dude. I agree with the fans too. Stand up what they believe for. They raised over what $5,000 to make 5,000 shirts or something like that, which is pretty remarkable. If I didn't even get to see that, if I was able to see that, I would have donated at least something, or maybe even buy a shirt too,
Yeah.
because you got to be with them. You got to feel for them too. They just lost the the Warriors. They were in Oakland, but then they relocated to San Francisco.
Raiders.
Oakland Raiders now in Las Vegas. There, I believe, I think it was Bryce Harper or somebody had said, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this, but somebody had said that if they do move to Las Vegas, which it's looking like about good 80% chance, that they should not bring the A's name over
Oh,
there,
change
and
the name.
maybe to change the team name. And I agree. I think you should, because you're leaving a like historic mark over there in Oakland,
Yep.
being the Athletics. I think, yeah, it's gut wrenching because I really feel for them fans. The only thing I didn't like was seeing a video of fans throwing stuff
Oh yeah,
onto the field, and that,
yeah.
I
That's
do know the
uncalled for.
frustration. Yeah, it was very uncalled for. I do know the frustration and everything like that, because Astros fans had gone through that when they were losing 111 games. Nobody was showing up to the park. Literally, the you could buy a ticket to the 400 section
For a
and you could go
dollar.
all the way down. Yeah, for a good $4, $5. So yes, we do know your frustration out there, but the relocation part we do not understand. That's the most hurtful part about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm with Oakland. It sucks that they did throw stuff, because of course you have the custodians having to
Yeah.
clean that out, and already through their day they're gonna have to clean out the whole stadium. But feel for fans in Oakland, man. I'm really hoping something happens really positive for them.
But shout out to the players. They played tough.
Yeah.
They took 2 out of 3.
7 games, the 7 game winning streak. We didn't even mention that either.
Yes, 7 game winning streak, and they took 2 out of 3 against. I'm sorry, I think it's 4 game. No, they took 2 out of 3, right, against Tampa.
Yeah, against Tampa,
Yeah,
they
so
did win the series.
which is the best team in baseball at the moment, and the A's as the worst team. Like, oh, no, not the worst team anymore. The Royals are.
The Royals are now.
So
Yeah.
so I want to shout out them players for sticking strong through this bizarre situation, unwanted situation. They're still, putting up, like, doing their best out there. Again, like, they gave
Yeah.
the Astros a run for their money when they were here, so they're pretty good. Um, the next is, and another New York team has a pitcher suspended for sticky stuff, like, again. So this time the Mets, which is the second time. I think we got to remember Max Scherzer's getting ejected, and he was I think he kind of blew up a little bit after that. So Mets pitcher Drew Smith is suspended 10 games due to sticky something that was found on his hand. He was ejected before throwing a pitch when he came out the bullpen. Usually, when the players come out the bullpen, the umpires check their hands and to make sure they're good to go. According to the umpires, both hands were really sticky. So this is the surprising thing, because if you're a pitcher, there's no reason like for you to have your glove hand unless you're gonna get it like from the glove side, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then Smith states it was sweat and rosin. So it's that conversation again, of who's telling the truth, right? Is it really sweat
Here
and
we
rosin?
go again. Yeah.
Yeah, or what's the standard here? So again, any thoughts on that?
I mean, it sucks because you have an MLB official going from the I mean, you have one in the bullpen. I'm pretty sure you got one in the dugout. I'm pretty sure you got one in the clubhouse too, to make sure these guys are doing and following the protocols and things like that. But I think this is either the third or fourth Mets pitcher that has been caught with sticky
I
substance. I
think it's
mean,
the second.
two. This is the second.
Well,
Or something with New York. Like you were saying, New York has been the biggest problem with this, because I mean the Yankees with Domingo Herman and I believe another player. I'm not too sure, but even the Mets too as well. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, sweat and rosin's really nothing wrong with it. Maybe MLB needs to be more stricter about the rule on that. But it's very unfortunate.
you know what? I think the New York team's in like a little dome stadium to eliminate all that excessive sweat in the bullpen.
A lot of teams need to kind of put their money into bringing
Hey,
dome stadiums.
speaking of dome stadiums, you know that the AFC South is going to be like one of the first divisions to have dome stadium.
We're talking about NFL now. We got
Hey,
NFL
it's
coverage
just
with
a fun
Angel
fact.
Cantu.
It's just a fun fact. In the near future, I think
Yeah, Jacksonville.
isn't getting like a new stadium or something. So
Hmm.
that'd be pretty cool.
God, I just love your little bits that you come up with. If it's not fantasy baseball, it's NFL coverage with you. It's so cool. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but we love having fun on here.
Of
But
course, of
our
course.
last segment coming up. I think everybody's been waiting for this. You got the cap and no cap. So of course you got your cap, no cap, baseball theme kind of game that we're doing here. Cap means that you're lying and we don't agree. No cap is we okay. We do agree with this. I feel like comfortable going with this statement. So our first one going at Cole Clark on Twitter. This is on Twitter. Well, we gotta man, Angel, we gotta get an Instagram going. I just thought about that right now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get that going soon. Anyway, Cole Clark. Jokes is on the move, probably. Jake has gained Dusty's trust in center field again, and he remains the primary center fielder. Chaz is going to be the utility outfielder. Angel, are we capping or no capping on this one?
And this was hard because I think Dusty really likes Corey Jokes as well. But
Mm-hmm.
Jake has had the most time in center field, so I would say no cap. I think if one of the three outfielders is going to move, I think unfortunately Jokes is a odd man out.
Yeah, I agree. I got no cap on this one because Jokes is really hitting the ball. He's really done great this season being a Major League Baseball player. That's kind of gets an upper hand for the Astros. If they do want to make a trade package with him for the deadline, he could probably go get some more playing time somewhere else, like for instance, Detroit or Pittsburgh or Kansas City, like you were saying, the worst record right now in Major League Baseball. We'll have to see. But yeah, I got no cap. We got two no caps on that one. Our next one being Lando Parker. He has a trade scenario going on right here.
Okay, okay.
Very interesting. Detroit sends Matt Boyd, left-handed starting pitcher. Yeah, I think Astro fans have heard about Matt Boyd a long time ago in trade packages and things like that when it was a deadline. And another pitcher being Jose Cisneros, right-handed guy. Houston will give away Luis Baez, right fielder, and Julio Robena, who is a right-handed pitcher. He also continues to say, arguably an overpay for two rentals, but Detroit is looking to try and be reloaded for their retool. Angel, what are we going with?
I'd say cap. I mean, I don't think Boyd is a good. Yeah, he come out the bullpen. He has that bull starting experience, but I just don't see the Astros making a trade with Detroit. But I mean, that would be a good. I do agree it would be an overpay, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm kind of leaning towards no cap with this one. I don't know why. I think Matt Boyd could really bring something to Houston. I mean, it's another lefty too. If you think about it, we already got Framber. The Astros got Framber, but bringing in another lefty wouldn't be bad. And you're going throwing a guy out like a Luis Baez, an outfielder that we have a lot of outfield depth. I mean, I don't have to remind people the depth and the roster and the farm systems that we have, but I think it'd be I don't think it'd be an overpay for two rentals. If anything, it makes I feel like it could make the Astros a little bit better
Okay.
because of the depth. So not a bad one. I mean, that was pretty good, honestly. I'll go with no cap on that one. But you want to read the next one?
Sure. This is from at Space Cowboy NSL. He says Chaz, JJ, Salazar, Lee, Bly, Blanco, and Seth can be all moved to go after a big fish. Leon and Durden maybe, but they haven't splashed enough to bring the value that we'll need. Chaz is a quality outfielder, utility man that will bring value. Blanco starting pitcher or relief pitcher capability as well. What do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of mixes on this. I got a little bit of cap. I got a little bit of no cap on these. Um, okay, for the first one, Bly Madras, I see him moving. I see Corey Lee moving because Dana Brown has already said that Yainer Diaz is going to be the future of the catching position. JJ Marievich, it could be another guy that's going to be on the move. Seth Martinez, I really like him, but he's another guy that could be on the move for a big fish. So I agree with that one. I do see no cap on that. Leon and Durden, maybe, but they haven't splashed enough to bring the value that we need. That's kind of true because remember Pedro Leon's coming back from an injury, and Justin Durden had a great spring training. Um, I maybe one of those guys would be in a trade package deal. I don't think Pedro Leon because I feel like the Astros are very confident in his playmaking abilities. Justin Dearden had a great spring. That doesn't mean that he's going to have a good regular season. So possibly. Chaz is a quality outfield utility man that will bring value. He would bring value, but I think the Astros are not going to do him. So I'll go cap with that one. And then Blanco starting pitching or relief pitching capability as well. I cap on that because I feel like Dana Brown loves Ronel Blanco so much. So
Yeah,
there's no way he's getting dealt.
yeah, I agree with you. I feel like Blanco's like one of those untouchable, potential trade pieces that I don't think he'll get dealt. I agree with you that Chaz will not get dealt as well. Now, for Salazar's case, it's kind of hard because I feel like he would have to be like the third edition of a trade. Like he won't be the main piece just because in all like major league teams haven't seen enough of Salazar because again those bats in the major at the major league level are hard to come by. Seth Martinez, if you can get a better relief pitcher, I think he'll get dealt. Same thing with JJ Javej. I think he can provide some um, like some assistance with other teams. I think he can get dealt,
Mhm.
but other than that, I don't see Corey Lee getting dealt. I don't see
Wow,
Chaz
you
getting
do
dealt.
not see Corey Lee
Well,
getting dealt.
it's just a thing where Maldonado is, um, he's already older, right? So
Mhm.
it's just like how long is he going to be there? So Lee,
I think he does finish his career though with Houston, and
okay,
I do not think he will be upset or anything like that if Yainer Diaz does get the catching role next year and they bring Maldonado back
okay.
for another year for him just to be, kind of like the mentor guy for
Mhm.
these young players.
You see, and if they don't bring Maldonado back, then that's why you have Lee and Yanier Diaz, where like in that case, I feel like there'll be a platoon over there, but Diaz can play DH, can play first base.
Mhm.
He's been taking a lot more reps at first base. I think
I think he played one game at first base
he
actually.
has. He has.
Mhm.
On Wednesday, he was taking reps with Abreu at first base. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I feel like it would have to be this major superstar in order for Lee to get out. I think that's what I'm.
So like I'm just gonna throw a scenario real quick. We don't have to go in too much depth. Shane Bieber coming back. This is the funny part because Cleveland dealt a catcher being Yainer Diaz, and look how Diaz is right now. He's already in the major leagues. Do you see a Shane Bieber and Corey Lee? Would you be able to do something around there? You think?
If it's Shane Bieber, yeah. Like again, it has
Okay.
to be like a superstar. Like
So a big fish, basically, how he
yeah,
said it.
yeah. Like I mean, but it's hard. It's hard. But I kind of contradicted myself on there. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
That was a big Cav and no Cav right there, big
Yeah.
time on them four comments that he had mentioned. But our last one being Dominic Seifert. I hope I say his name right, his last name right. He says, if we get Brantley back, I don't think we really need a bat. We do need pitching. I'm gonna go Cap with this one. I think if they do have Brantley back still, I think they're still going to add another batter, another hitter. I think Dana Brown just said it out of his mouth that they want a left-handed batter, like you were saying, a left-handed hitter. It could possibly a Cody Bellinger, which I don't know how Astros fans and the Astros clubhouse would be, really appreciated about that. But you got a guy like a Jock Peterson, which, if you remember in 2021, I mean, he helped the Braves win a World Series. Uh, I mean, Eddie Rosario's another guy, but he's with the Braves.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any other left-handed hitters at the moment, unless Josh Bell. I think he has a player option. I think he signed a 2-year contract with a player option his second year. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'll do Cap on that one. We do need pitching though. I do agree, but the biggest thing what he said was if we get Brantley back, I don't think we really need a bat. I think the Astros are still going to find a way to get another bat.
Yeah, I say cap on this one as well. Just how you're mentioning, the Astros are targeting a lefty pitcher, but then it's like once Bradley comes back, it's like yeah, that's great, but he's been out for so long. It's
Yeah,
like
you just don't
what
know.
what Brantley are we getting? Like,
Hmm.
or what Brantley are the Astros getting? Like are getting the Brantley that is consistent or that's gonna get on base, or are they getting like a more older Brantley who's gonna struggle? And then it's just that's uh, that's the thing that we don't know, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, it's very difficult because if the Astros could get the Michael Brantley that's been in Houston for a good while, hitting over 300, hitting contact, hitting the gaps and hitting the, pole to pole, by all means, that's a great sign, great numbers right there. But if Dana Brown said he's going to go after a left-handed hitter, and this is going to be Dana Brown's first trade deadline experience as a GM, I do believe he will go get a left-handed hitter. But Angel, you got any cab or no cab you want to throw out real quick?
Nah, I can't think of one right now.
I can't think of one
But
either. I think just left-handed. I feel like for the Astros trade deadline, as of right now, like we had talked about last episode with the early kind of predictions, you got to go after a left-handed hitter or even a power bat,
a
being a
reliever,
power, yeah, power slugger. You really think? Okay, so one. Okay, I actually do have a cap, no cap. Do the Astros trade Ryan Stanek?
I don't think so. I don't
Ryan
think so.
Stanek is on his last year of his contract with the Astros, and he has yet to pitch a lot of innings like how he did last year for them.
Well, with Presley struggling, probably see a bump in that.
You think so?
You see, that's why maybe a reliever came to mind is because Presley has been struggling. Like,
Mhm.
and if that continues throughout the season, then that's something they need to fix.
Address.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you on that. But that was mine. On that, I think I'll go no cap. I feel like they will trade him.
I, yeah. I mean, could be. I feel like once the trade that I had like is getting near, anything's possible. So again, think back to that Verlander trade, right, where no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
So
Or even the Grinky one, throwing out our whole farm system for him.
yeah,
But we will have a trade deadline special like we did last year. We'll have a part one and a part two as it gets
nice.
closer to the end of July. But that is all we have for tonight, Angel. Do you have anything else but you want to add before we sign off?
No, thank you for listening, and take care of yourself. Have a good weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know we'll record Sunday, but by the time you hear it Monday, so happy Father's Day out there to all the dads out there.
Yeah, like you said, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Have a magnificent weekend. It's the weekend. Y'all got to go
Oh,
celebrate.
and then happy Father's Day to all the mothers who played both parts of this. Well,
Oh, exactly. Huge part. I think we can speak for both of us on that. But continue to follow us at Full Steam Ahead on Twitter, at TikTok, podcast platforms. You got Google, Spotify, and Apple. And continue to subscribe to our new YouTube channel. We're still getting into that. But that is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for listening to us. Y'all be safe out there for this weekend. We will talk to y'all, recap the series, and talk about that preview against the New York Mets. See you guys.
see you. Peace.